Utopia is a short film released in 2019 in which a man returns to his home country after a decade or so, only to discover it has turned into a nightmare dystopia in which citizens report and fine one another for various minor infractions, using their mobile phones to record and upload the evidence of offences to a government app. In an early scene, Jack is picked up by his brother Frank outside the airport. As they drive off, Frank is notified of a fine. It turns out that Jack accidentally dropped and left his bandana in the street while they were loading his things in the boot. Later, Frank explains how the surveillance system works.
Anyway, who fined you? I didn't see any cops.
There are no cops. Anyone can fine you.
It becomes clear that Frank, in common with everyone in this society, lives under constant surveillance and the constant threat of being fined or even imprisoned for every tiny infraction. And on learning this, Jack eventually decides to escape. They were reported for littering by a woman with a phone camera.
I can't wait to see Margaret.
Arrival 087. Non-citizen arrival 070.
So glad to be back home. So what's been happening? Anything at all?
No, nothing's changed.
What a beautiful day.
Processing. GPS coordinates confirmed.
The woman, presumably an ordinary citizen, acts as the enforcer and collects the evidence with her recording device. It strikes me that this is not terribly different to how auditors treat their fellow citizens who have the misfortune to run into them while working.
Emails come in and say, oh, there's a brilliant place to find out more, like an investigation, you know.
From who?
It don't matter.
It does matter.
It matters to you. It don't matter to me. I'll just take these. I'll take anonymous emails.
Yeah, but who are you?
Don't worry about it. Who are you? Go on.
This is my building.
Give me your name then.
My name.
Am I on your site?
You're filming my site.
Am I on it?
I want to know why. He's got a GoPro on his chest and he's got another.
Don't be silly, mate. Come on.
Auditors will often try to set up staff over minor or petty infractions they may be committing.
So you're actually a contractor, security contractor. Don't you have to have one of them blue badges?
Sometimes they even make a special effort to get a worker or manager in trouble with the law.
Yeah, well done. Honestly, now.
So when you give a statement, that's your way of saying, you know, that you're willing to go to court and you'll attend court if required.
Yep, okay.
Auditors often visit sites under the pretence of an investigation or inspection of some sort, and they will often nitpick about the business and criticise aspects of their operations. Auditors show no compunction about privacy and data protection for the staff they are filming, even though there is typically no need for faces to be included in footage uploaded to YouTube. Essentially, auditing is about provoking and engineering needless drama and conflict for the entertainment of viewers, and it has a definite surveillance aspect to it. The Canadian engineer Steve Mann has coined the term Sousveillance for the recording of an activity by a member of the public rather than a person or organisation in authority, typically by way of small wearable or portable personal technologies. Whereas surveillance denotes the eye in the sky watching from above, sousveillance denotes bringing the means of observation down to human level, either physically by mounting cameras on people rather than on buildings, or hierarchically through ordinary people doing the watching rather than higher authorities or architectures. Sousveillance is typically referred to positively, but it seems to me that it could also have negative or harmful implications, consequences and ramifications. Surveillance and sousveillance are not entirely opposed. Far from it, they naturally go hand in hand, and the point often missed, which I have made in a previous video, is that a surveillance society requires the consent, even enthusiastic consent, of the people ruled over. If you consider all the real-life tyrannies, both now and in the past, they all required to some degree the cooperation of the citizenry in their own oppression. A classic example is the former DDR, East Germany, in which the state's security police, the Stasi, relied on citizen informants. According to historian Jens Giesecke, by the time that East Germany collapsed in 1989, the Stasi employed some 91,015 employees and 173,081 informants. About one out of every 63 East Germans collaborated with the Stasi. Of course, the harms inflicted by auditors are not comparable in scale to informants for the Stasi, but there is a parallel. Auditors are petty tyrants, oppressors. They are using their cameras to bully people. They are petty and controlling and have a fixation on persecuting others, blaming people, exposing people. You'll notice this is a common theme throughout auditing content. Blaming people, constantly picking fault with people or businesses. There's no let-up. Unless the staff are nice to the auditor, then they may be okay.
Do us proud. Yeah, I'm filming now, mate. I'm filming now. Yeah, providing everyone stays smiley and happy, and no one comes out and starts trying to abuse the powers. Everything will be hunky-dory, and this place will get a really good review.
He wants staff to be smiley and nice to him, then he won't be mean to them in his stupid little videos. These staff that auditors constantly abuse and harass are human beings, not walking emoticons. It seems that auditors want to turn society into some sort of nightmare, a smiley dystopia where all workers have to smile and be nice to bullies. There are signs everywhere telling us what to do every waking moment. Don't go here, don't do this, because nobody has the common sense to understand trespass. And everything is fenced or gated off for security purposes, with blinds over windows so staff can't see outside. It would be a society absent of common sense and devoid of compassion, a bit like the fictional dystopia in the film I showed you at the beginning of this video. Of course, I accept all that is an exaggeration, but if an entire movement arises of people going round spying on others with a camera, and this even has the acquiescence of the police, it doesn't point to a promising future for any of us. I entirely agree that wrongdoers in society should be exposed by citizens if necessary. This channel exposes wrongdoing by auditors. But there's also room for privacy and dignity for the individual, and even for a bit of common sense now and then.